say, going and working on what the issue was with that one that you were already in a relationship with. They'd rather, succumb to those options.
Right. Now, let's say you're used to driving to work a certain way, right? And someone suggests that, hey, there's another way you can go. It's another way you can go to achieve to get to the same point. There's a fear. Like, do I really want to do this? So it's a little off my path, but it'll still get me to where I'm going. Are you willing to say, hey, let me just continue to go the same way? Do I try the new way? What if the new way works for me? And I go with the new way. What do I do with the old way? Do I continue to go the new way that I just learned? Or do I go with what's comfortable to me? Or that I know? These are decisions that you have to make every day. Like, hey, I'm comfortable with the person I love. I don't mind going this way. This is the way I want to go. But if I go
the comfortable route.
If I go the comfortable route, life isn't always going to be comfortable.
No.
There could be traffic jams. There could be different things going on.
Right.
But if you try this new way, it may work for a while. But other people are going to try that new way as well. And then traffic can go the same way, if you get my point. Traffic jams can happen in the new direction as well as the old. So why don't you stay with the old way sometimes and maintain?
Because you've already been there.
Yeah.
And, you've been traveling that road.
Starting new, anything, there's always a fear. But if you're already with someone and you're trying to deal with someone else, you're splitting yourself. So you don't think the person that you're dating is not going to know that you are distant? Things you used to do, you're not doing. There's an entitlement, that's going on with people right now. I don't have to do this, or I don't have to do that. And you can continue to do that stuff by yourself. That's if you choose to be single. I'm entitled to go and come where as I please. And if you're comfortable in doing that, you can do that. But you do know once you say, hey, I want to be with this person, that compromise comes in. And if you're ready for compromise, that's great. If you like, nah, not just yet. And like I said, everything I'm saying, I want everyone to understand, these are all decisions you make. The moment you're ready for compromise and the moment you're ready to say, hey, I want this, you do it. No one can force you to do it. Not Essence, not Jet, not some magazine this is 10 ways you can keep your man. How can someone tell you how to keep the person you're with? How?
You're saying that's only experienced by, or learned by, experience. Being in that relationship. You can't really just read in these magazines and go based on that particular magazine.
If I tell you, you were walking to your car and there was a person sitting downstairs, and I was your neighbor and I said, hey, don't talk to that guy, he's crazy. Do you want to find out if that guy's crazy, or do you just go with what I say and you just rush right by that person and get in your car?
I probably want to find out.
That's you. But most people go with what others say.
Because if he's, first of all, in my stairway, I probably couldn't rush by him anyhow. I probably would need to know for myself. I find that, even though that's just like being in school and you're being taught that Christopher Columbus, discovered America. Are you going to do your research yourself, or are you going to take the word of the teacher who taught you that?
My point.
So, exactly. So I'm really going to have to find out for myself, and do my own research and find out if this person is who everybody is telling me he is, or am I going to find out the truth and do my, research and find out the truth and read and know who this person is.
Right.
So I'm probably going to talk to him and see who he is.
All right. And basically what I'm saying is the programming. Mm-hmm. 90 days or 10 steps or 7 steps. Or that might have worked for that person. Everyone's not the same. That's just all I'm really saying.
Okay. True. Well, you know what? And so, Ronald, this is the last question I have. I just want to end this. I have just this last thing to ask because I've asked my previous guest this question. And I just want to ask you this because this was something that was a very big issue amongst the ladies. And I'm going to ask you this. Do you rate women? And why? That was a big issue, and as my previous guest is an interview, and I know this was a big deal, and I want to get a difference of opinion with my gentlemen interviewers.
I do not rate women.
Okay, and tell me why don't you?
I don't rate women because everyone's different. So what I think is a 10, someone else probably would think it's a 5. Or what I would think is a 10, someone else would consider it to be a 3. And that's the easy part of my life. Because if you're attracted, if I'm attracted to you and you're attracted to me and we get to know each other, what you like and what I like is 2 different things. You're looking at things from 2 different perspectives. If I look at people's energy, conversation, intelligence, so on and so forth, most people look at things through a superficial lens, a jaded lens. In society, let me get the person that looks like this. They got the added robust derriere, and she got the extra stuff, the extra derriere back there, who's shaped like a stripper. Oh, I really like that. Someone would consider that a 10. I like women that like to augment their bodies and they look like the strippers. I like that. Someone could say, hey, I like the nerdy girl with the glasses. I could like the Afrocentric girl. I like who is attracted to me. And if I can get to know you, that's even better. It's nothing like when you look at someone and you're attracted to that person. You make eye contact. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I
like that person. In a glance, in a few second glance, like, oh, no.
You said in a glance.
It's in a glance.
Ronald, how do you know in a glance?
At a glance like this, hey. Ooh. But however, if you continue to look at each other and you both are attracted to each other, you will pursue each other. Correct? If a gentleman from across the room was like, hey, how you doing? I see you sitting over here by yourself, and you didn't like him, what would you say to him?
If I didn't like him, there probably wouldn't be any verbiage exchanged between us. If I didn't like him or her, because, I wouldn't speak to either. Mm-hmm. If you didn't like either one, would you speak?
If
you had the option. I feel like if I had the option of, because you're asking me if I would speak.
Right. If someone was like looking at you and you weren't attracted to that person, and they were heading your direction, what would you say to that person?
I'd probably turn around and start walking the opposite direction. That's my honest opinion. I probably would turn around and, as if they weren't looking at me, I'd probably make a beeline toward the opposite direction.
Right. Now, I've been in some situations where I wasn't attracted to people, and I still talk. I had a conversation with them. I didn't make anything up. A lot of times,
What did you say to them?
It's a situation where if you really are attracted to someone, a conversation goes a certain way. Mm-hmm. But if there's no interest, you don't have to say, "Hey, I don't like you," and you're ugly.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that. You're like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're nice looking as well. Well.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, that's happened too,
But this is the person.
In all honesty, I have, because you don't want to be rude, you don't want to be rude. And sometimes, it depends on the distance and the space, in between us.
Now, you remember being a child and there were certain things that you didn't like to eat on your plate, right? Mm-hmm. You probably had a facial expression and some. Mm-hmm. You have a stomach trying to talk to someone that you don't like. It probably shows in your face, and that person will see that sign and be like, "Oh, okay. Well, it was nice meeting you." You don't have to say. Some people take that moment to be petty,
and you don't really have.
And you don't really have to.
Right.
You can entertain a conversation, and someone will see your body language and see that you're not attracted to them. You don't always have to take that moment. You don't have. You can sometimes don't have to say anything. Take the high road.
Yeah.
Your body language, like I said, if you didn't like Brussels sprouts, you're like, your body language will give it off. And a lot of times, if people see your body language, they'll know automatically. They'll be like, "Ooh, that person doesn't like me," and that's usually how it works. Signs. Like if you're walking towards somebody, it's definitely if a guy walking towards a female and she gives off a look, he knows already to like, as they say, abort the mission. Get out of there.
Have you really thought that?
I don't know. Like I said, if you see something you don't like, most of the time your body language gives it all away.
Yeah, and you really probably
so if someone's approaching you and you're like, you could be like, ooh, see, it's something that you don't even think about.
Yeah.
Your eyes could do a little something, your head could tilt, or you could just have that look of disgust. People know these things. Like if you're walking...
So you really don't even have to be rude.
You don't have to be rude. Your body language gives it all off.
Yeah.
It's energy.
That's true.
But if you two people like each other, you're going to like, hey, how you doing?
The body language will be totally
It'll be on point.
Yeah.
Conversation.
That's true.
Numbers exchange.
Right.
You don't have to be rude to people.
That's true. That's true. No, you don't. You don't. And there's no sense in it.
No need of it. No.
Yeah. Ronald, you have been fabulous tonight. I have been really enjoyed this conversation. I know I probably asked you some of these questions a couple times because, I get questions and, from girlfriends of mine who are like, make sure you ask this. So, I probably hit a couple of questions twice, 2 or 3 times. So, my apologies if I did hit some questions a couple times. I did want to go back to the, because you are a barber. And is there any way that, people can contact, our listeners can contact you? They say, well, man, I'm looking for a barber. Would it be possible for them to, email you or call you and say, hey, can you, cut my hair? Or, Is that something that you would do, or sure, how does that work?
They definitely could email me.
Okay.
And then emailing me if you actually live in the local area, we could definitely contact each other from that point. Mm-hmm. Email me and hey, I heard your show. I heard you on the show last night, or I heard you at the show at some point in time. I'd like to get in touch with you, and then we can exchange numbers at that point and then go from there. Okay.
Would you like to give our listeners your email address? Because that would be great. So they can contact you with your email address.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what is your email address? And so our listeners can get that and contact you for an awesome haircut.
That's Ronald Lanier, and that's RONALD LANIER at hotmail.com. I say again, RONALDLAN